You're listening to the Chopped Podcast, episode number 136. Hey everyone, welcome to the next episode of the Chopped Podcast. And today is Friday, and that's always my favorite day of the week, especially when I'm talking with Cara, because it's time for
FriChats.
You never disappoint. It's always so good to talk with you, Cara.
Oh, thanks. Marley, you too.
Oh, good. And
you know
been...
I think,
okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
I just want to say, I think that this should be called the Marley and Cara Appreciation Club. That's what my mom and I used to always say. That was the Carol and Cara Mutual Appreciation Club. And we would start the club meeting saying, "You're amazing. No, you're amazing. No, you are."
Oh my God. And we do that.
That's why I'm like, this should be it should live on, I think, as the Marley and Cara Mutual Appreciation Club.
I love it. Because you want to know something? I truly appreciate you.
Well, ditto. I mean, seriously.
Well, and I love that your mom would leave these comments on your site from your number one fan. Oh my God. It just made me cry to go back and read all those. It was beautiful.
She was the best. She really was.
We all need someone in our corner supporting us like that. Like just,
oh my God.
Oh, so, like wholly supporting you.
You know, it's so funny. I was listening to, I think it was an Oprah Winfrey. No, what was it? I can't remember now. So it was RuPaul. RuPaul was talking about how his mom would always say whatever he did was amazing. So he'd sing in the living room with the broom, be singing Diana Ross, and his mom would always just rave at how amazing it was. So anytime he got on stage and was scared, he'd always picture himself in his mom's living room performing for her and how it was good enough. And that always calmed him down and always helped him get through it, that no matter what happened, it was perfect. It was enough, the way his mom would say that. So I love the idea of having somebody in your corner, like you said, supporting you to give you that strength to do stuff that makes you nervous and scared, but also calms you down and encourages you.
I just totally love that, because I kind of feel like, I will just say from my childhood perspective, it was completely the opposite. It was just like, I never felt like I was enough. I never felt like, and then recently, I think I mentioned to you that I heard this podcast from, the guy's name is Guru Singh, Singh. And he mentioned how, when you sing, you should be singing for your own pleasure, not because you're trying to make your voice sound pleasant to other people. And I feel like I've spent my whole life trying to be pleasant, sound pleasant, sing pleasant, be pleasant for other people. And it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Because if I hear you correctly and I understand exactly what you're speaking of, usually when you're trying to be pleasant enough, you're doing it because you don't want to ruffle anyone's feathers, or you want to be accepted. You want to be blank enough because then people will like me and I won't get yelled at for being too loud or too off key or, whatever that might be. And then you get to be older and then you realize, wait, this is just a lie that I believed. It's part of the inner critic in our voice that has completely falsified who we really are. And so
there are all these lies out there in the community that we all participate in.
It just starts from being a baby on, whether our parents were intentional in doing so or not. But what I love about watching you, and especially in this past year, is fighting through those lies. And it's been a really cool journey to see how you have changed internally as a person, in the sense that you've been peeling away those layers of the onion to reveal more of who you truly are. And it's been inspiring for me because you're a positive force to be reckoned with. And we were talking on the phone a little bit ago, and Marley had mentioned how she's going to put war paint on and, just scream at the top of her lungs, and
Yes.
I just visually see that. That's who you are. You're a fighter. And I really hope other people see that listen to this, that you really fight your way tooth and nail to become truly who you really are.
Yeah, I feel like that. Was it The Police or the song, the free, set them free?
Yeah, Police.
I feel like I'm being set free.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's a great song. That's your anthem of the year.
Just walking around singing it all day long today. It's a great song. Just be free,
It really is.
What does that mean for you to be, if you like, what I love to think about, like whether it's food or whether it's anything, like if I could do whatever I want, like even like what I eat, if I could eat whatever I want and just be the right size, what would I eat? Or what, like if I could do whatever I want on my blog, what would I do? And I think it's kind of nice to have that little experiment in your mind.
Well, I think that also means that every day you have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself questions of what it is that you want. So maybe you don't even know what it is you want. So you have to kind of get in tune with that. And that's the journey in life. And you know what I love too is the fact that we were going to talk about something totally different today, but I love where this is going.
Me too.
And so let's just go with it.
Okay.
Because that's what we do. But yeah, you have to be honest with what it is that you want. And it could be different from what you wanted a year ago.
Right.
I think you and I could probably say a year ago, we want like that 1 million page views or whatever it might be. And now we're a year wiser and going, oh, for what? For what?
Right.
This is a that's hard to say, a rat race that we don't really want to be a part of because it is imprisoning us in something we don't like. And so now it's time to figure out what it is that we do want that's going to make us free. Yes. So we can sing that anthem.
I can just imagine, like, let's imagine an alien came from outer space and landed and decided to start a food blog and they didn't follow any of the rules and their site just took off. And how furious. I think I can imagine being really angry at that. Like,
I'd be so angry.
What? They're not on Instagram? They're not doing videos? Everybody said you have to do videos to be successful.
Yeah, no, it's so silly how we have convinced ourselves the guidelines in which we can be successful in life. So it's like the 7, I don't even know how many, but I'm saying 7 effective habits of effective people, whatever that is, It's like, if I do these 7 things or 12, then I'm going to be successful. No, that's not really true.
Yes.
You can do that all you want. If you're not honest with yourself, then you're not going to go anywhere,
So you want to know the thing I think that's been making the biggest difference for me this year?
I would love to hear it because everyone needs to know that Marley is just crushing it in her own personal goals. Her creativity has been a fire and you're just breaking barriers. So please tell me.
I feel like I could be standing on top of the roof like a lightning rod. I have so many ideas coming to me and they're beautiful. I love them all. It's just finding the right balance to pursue them all. And I actually have intentions to pursue all of them. It's just, I have to write them down and make sure I get them, chapterized. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I can't maybe do them all in this moment, but I will get them done.
Better to be inspired than to have self-pity and think,
nothing's coming my way. Yeah. Yes. So I read the book that you recommended. And when you first recommended it, it's You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero.
Yes.
When you first mentioned the book, I was kind of like, doesn't sound like my cup of tea.
Right. Right.
But you were so enthusiastic about it. I had to
Well, it's a little embarrassing. Like you're out in public, you're reading a book saying you are a badass. It's like, what are you reading? Yeah.
Yes. But it really is a very good book. And there's some things in it that I really, really just connected with. And one of them is this mantra that she recommended several. I just picked one. And the one is, I receive all the good that the universe has to offer me, or it can be the world, or, you know, my day has to offer me, or life has to offer me. But I receive all the good is kind of like the big part of it. And I think the reason this is tapped in me is like, maybe I could sometimes be a little bit mopey, like, oh yeah, sure, that alien comes in and has a successful food blog. They're an alien. If I was from Venus, I would be successful too. You know, like I would have this kind of mindset, and this has been slowly rewiring my brain. I actually spent the first month just writing it. You know, like the teacher would give you the assignment to write the thing 100 times. I'd write it over and over every single day in my notebook, and so I feel like the first thing I say when I get up in the morning is, I receive all the good that life has to offer me today. And I just repeat it anytime I feel stressed out, anytime I feel happy. When Sean and I are just, you know, he's giving me a hug, and I just feel how grateful I am for him in my life. And I feel the passion of it. And I say, I receive all the good that life has to offer me. It's like being grateful for everything.
I think that's the difference between, like you said, being grateful, having a positive mindset versus wallowing in self-pity.
Yes.
Look, you're allowed to have self-pity.
Oh, yeah.
We're not saying that you can't, but I see the stark difference between the days that that I am like reading and listening and just surrounding myself with positive things.
Yes.
Versus looking at the accounts or the blogs that people are really successful and then comparing myself to them and, you know, tearing myself down.
Yes.
It's funny because I have Jen's new book, You Are a Badass at Making Money. And already I see the 9-day difference in my own attitude towards myself by reading this, because it's positive, it's uplifting, you know. And I'm not saying like all you have to do is just like say, I'm great. Oh, right. And then all of a sudden you're going to feel like you're the most amazing person in the world, because like that kind of, in my opinion, that kind of like self-talk and self-help,
it's wrong.
It only fixes like the exterior. It doesn't really fix the interior.
Yeah, it's like adding layers to your onion rather than taking them away.
Right, because what people don't understand is, though you say this mantra, you also work really hard on who you are.
Yeah.
You fight through your demons and you try to better yourself. Right now, this mantra is really helping you on top of everything else. You know what I mean? Yes. So like people then just take, all I have to do is just say like a mantra and then everything is going to be better. Well, that's not that, although it can help, that's not necessarily, you know, the end all be all.
Yes.
And so, but like, I just noticed that my outlook on everything has totally changed towards my business, because it's like, oh, wait a minute, there is enough for all of us.
Yes.
To succeed. I don't have to be the best, because in prior thinking, being the best means I have security. And there's no other way to have security unless I'm the best. And that's a lie. That's one of those lies that we were talking about earlier, where, you know, that's kind of kept me enslaved in a certain way of thinking.
You know, it's so true. It's so, you know, along that line. So, okay, this idea that the only way to be the best is like in order to be successful is to be the best at something.
Yeah.
And there is some truth to certain parts of that. However, I do think there's a certain kind of lack of respecting your insides that's involved with that, and your gut, or whatever they call that, you know. And that's what I feel like this mantra, I receive all the good, does for me, is it helps me turn off this part of me that feels like I have to control everything.
Yes. Well, and there are a couple words missing in that sentence. In order to be successful, you have to be the best. It's the words that are missing are that you can be, right?
Say it again.
It's the best that you can be. It's not the best. It's not like being better than every person and having the best stats and the most followers. That's a scary trap to be in.
Yes.
You need to have these high numbers in order to feel secure at the top, because you can't ever maintain that. You really can't.
Yes.
What you have to do is is realize what it is that I can give today.
Yes.
And what's the best that I can be right now. It just sounds like that mantra that you say allows space for you to receive that, to be imperfect, and also to receive the love that the universe wants to give you, whomever,
Yeah. I like where you're going with that too, on this, being the best notion, because okay, so we've talked before that I'm working on a novel, and I can easily start to feel myself, I feel very intimidated by the idea, I really want it to be really good, and that notion it petrifies me. It paralyzes me. I can't move forward. I just have to give myself permission to follow my instincts and go with this book that's coming to me. It's almost like it's writing me more than I'm writing it. But I feel like that's a more natural process.
Yeah, I feel like isn't that the journey of it? You think about your blog when you first started it, and you probably had a vision of how you wanted it to be, but it just didn't really quite probably look the way that you wanted it to be, because you haven't learned the proper tools yet that only time teaches you.
Yes.
And so, it's so cliche. Ugh. And sometimes I cringe when I say it, but it's so true that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And so it really is. We've convinced ourselves to think that whatever, the end goal is, it's all about a finite number or, something you can measure. And the reality is that that's not it. Are you enjoying your life? Do you love blogging? Do you love your job? Because if you don't, if you're constantly comparing yourself, then maybe your goals need to be changed a little bit. Maybe what you're comparing yourself to needs to stop,
I definitely have felt that. And as a result, I have changed some things on my site, and I don't even know what that's going to look like down the road. For me, it's about, I'm actually working on creating a course for my site, namely Marley, where it's a plant-based wellness course, because
Marley's amazing. Yeah.
I feel very in tune with that, and it feels like it resonates really well with what I want for that site. And it just dawned on me that I have so much great content on the site that I don't have to constantly be creating new content.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure 5 years ago, you didn't even think that's a webinar that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Or that you even could do. And that's part of just doing the work, is realizing, this is not what I want to do anymore. This is what I want to do. And maybe next year it's not going to be what you want to do, but you're trying. You're trying new things. And I think that's what's so inspiring. I'm always amazed and inspired at the people who go against the grain, because I understand that requires a lot of guts. And I love the people who say, I don't want to do this. This doesn't make me happy. And you're definitely one of those people who is constantly questioning, what it is that you're doing, and whether or not it's working for you. So in my mind, you can only be successful at doing that.
I got you. Yes.
You're making yourself happy in the midst of it, and not trying to be somebody you're not.
Oh, yes.
I don't know. I think that's the main important thing of all of this in life, period. Find yourself, be honest with yourself, and pursue those passions through that honesty.
Oh, I think Jax agrees.
He did. Yeah. He's like, yeah, mother, you are so wise. I'm so grateful that you're my mom.
He's like, go, mama, go.
All right. Maybe I put more words into his mouth, but
no, I that's how I interpret that entirely. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
This has been so good, and I know that we're making a difference here, Cara, because I got we get messages from people from time to time, and I got a direct message from someone last week talking about how actually they were stressing out over creating a video, and then they heard us talk about why are we doing this? Why are we feel like we have to create video just because everybody else is? And she said it just totally reframed her thoughts on what she was going to do with her site.
Again, thank God.
Yes.
too short of time to be worrying about making a video. And trust me, I struggle with it too. You know, you struggle with it. We have it, but like the main point is that we stop and think, wait a minute, what am I doing?
Yes.
Yeah, good. I'm so glad that this helps people, because that's our intention. And I just want people, and I know you do too, to know that like you're not alone in this struggle.
Yes.
That we all, it doesn't matter who, we all have a difficult time in this, depending on what day of the year it is. And and it's okay. Yeah. And it's okay. And let's just help each other out, because it's not about the numbers. It's about, you know, being whole people in all of this.
Yeah. And it's summer. It's a great time of year.
Yes.
You know, traffic is typically down for food bloggers in the summer. So it's a great time of year to experiment and try different things.
Yep. Or take a break.
Yeah. Take a break.
Give yourself permission to turn off your phone. It's
recharge.
Okay. Yep.
You got to recharge your phone. You got to recharge your life sometimes.
Yeah. Yes. Focus on you, and ask yourself every day, you know, what's going to make me happy today? How can I be the best me? And go from there. And I hope that, and maybe it is, I don't know, but I hope that like making a video isn't the answer to what's going to make you the best you today. But maybe it is. Who knows? And
if it is making a video, make it in a way that honors who you are. I love that what you said about this on the last episode, which was, you know, you're doing the tall pins now, but you're doing them in a way that reflects you. And I feel like the same thing could be said for video, is finding a way that reflects you.
Yep. I love it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I think we covered this topic. I hope everybody's feeling super inspired. We would love it if you would, honor this podcast. If you feel so moved, by going to iTunes or Stitcher and leave a review. That always helps the show get seen by more people, or seen is not the right word, is it, Cara? It's probably heard by more people.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing video right now.
Oh, no.
No. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for joining us. We had a great time.
Bye, you guys.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of FriChats. You know, Cara and I love chatting about the soulful side of food blogging, so we hope you love hearing it. If you'd like to see the show notes for today's episode, just go to chopped.academy/podcast. And definitely there you can also sign up for the newsletter, so you'll be the first to hear about exciting things coming your way today. Thanks to everyone for your support of the Chopped podcast. You know we love hearing from you, whether it's on social media, emails, however it is you want to reach out to us. We also love it when you can share more information about the show, whether that's also on social media, on your own blog. You can also go to iTunes or Stitcher and leave a review. All of these things make a big difference for the show, and we really, really appreciate it. You know you inspire me, and I hope today's show was helpful and inspirational to you as well. Now go forth and be your best you.